Hey guys, so I am going to do my first cooking video today. I'm not by any means a chef. I just really love cooking, so I wanted to kind of show you guys some of the things that I like to make, but also try and encourage you to do things that maybe aren't what you would normally do. So today I'm going to show you what I'm going to be cooking with, but it is something that I've actually never made before. I just thought, why not? You know, every day's a learning day, and we should always try and push ourselves out of our like normal comfort zones. By no means is this massively exotic, but it's just different. It's not something that I've made. So yeah, without further ado, let me show you the ingredients. Okay guys, so these are the ingredients that I'm going to be working with for today's video, and I'm so excited to share with you what I'll be making. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is cut up some of these tomatoes. I love these ones. They are a bit bougier in my opinion, from Aldi. I'm sure I'm going to get people in the comments say that they're not bougie, but to me they are, and I love them. Normally I use these bad boys in like a soup or to go with breakfast, but I am actually going to be making my own sun-dried tomatoes, sort of. I haven't got any, and that's what the recipe is calling for. So what I'm going to do instead is get a few of these guys, and I'm going to cut them up, cover them in oil, and just roast them for a little bit until they dry out, and they will act as sun-dried tomatoes. So let me get my bowl here, and I'll just show you guys what it is that I am doing. I won't bore you with all of them, but just to give you an idea of what I do. So I get them and I slice them in half like this. And honestly, I'm eyeballing the amount for this recipe. I'm not doing like a specific amount. I'm just gonna see what I think is enough, and we're gonna hope for the best. We're all about experimenting in this kitchen. So yeah, I'll show you when they're done and the next step. Okay, so now I've got my desired amount of tomatoes all cut up. I am going to cover them in a little bit of oil. Okay. I'm just gonna make sure that they're all coated as much as I can. And I do like to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. This is just how I've always done it if I'm making my own version of sun-dried tomatoes. Obviously there will be more seasoning used in the main portion of the dish, but now that we've got that done, we're just going to go and put these in the air fryer for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15. I haven't done them in a while, so we'll find out what the right time frame is when they're done. Okay, roast those. We'll go with 10 minutes to start with. And now that we have done our tomatoes, we're going to go ahead and do the onion. I'm not very good, honestly, at chopping an onion, so any tips or tricks would be great. I mean, I'm perfectly capable of doing it, but I know that there is definitely going to be better ways than how I do it. But I'll show you guys anyway. Hold on, it's not going to work. Just want them in little pieces like so. Okay, I'm gonna get these all chopped up and I'll show you again once they're done. Okay, so my onions are just sat there off the hob right now, and my spinach is sort of chopped, but it's fine, it doesn't really matter, it's all gonna boil down anyway. The next step is the chicken. So we're gonna slice into small chunks the chicken. I'm gonna use 2 breasts for this, I think. Again, I'm certainly not an expert. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. But certainly not an expert. Although it's not rocket science to cook chicken. Obviously with cooking, it's always important to wash your hands, and I did wash my hands before I started, but it's even more important to obviously wash your hands after handling chicken. The last thing we want is to get chicken everywhere and risk having salmonella. That is not what we want. And I think I'm going to go for this little piece at the back. Oh my, there we go. Right. So the first piece I cut up was quite small, and this piece is quite big, so I'm gonna cut the chunks as I go rather than at the end. I'm not looking for perfect and everything to be the exact same size. Ultimately, I'm going to make sure it's cooked through thoroughly, and that's really all that matters. So yeah, I'm not doing to make it look, you know, perfectly pretty. It's not about presentation here, it's about the taste, and that is what matters most. So yeah, I'm going to finish getting this all cut up, guys, and then I'll show you the next step after that. So see you in a sec. Okay, so my chicken is all cut up, guys, and I'm going to swap out the chopping board, and I've already put the knife into soak, so I've got a new one. And what I now need to do is mince up a little bit of garlic, so I can add that in with my chicken once I start frying it. And I'm probably going to go with 2 cloves. Again, I'm not specifically adding a set amount, I'm just working to what I think will work, and honestly just hoping for the best. So yeah, let's get our garlic out of its little coat, because it doesn't need it. There we go. Oh, I can still feel the onions getting to my eyes, so apologies guys. I mean, I am unfortunately not very well at the moment, as you can probably hear. The onions are not helping situations. So let me show you guys. Again, I'm also not necessarily very good at mincing garlic. I have my own way of doing things. I slice it first, like this, and then I kind of just go ham, which I'll show you in a second. Just do the second clove. Oh, that's a bit of a bigger piece than I wanted, but it really won't matter in the end. So now I've got all of my pieces where I want them, I just kind of start going like this, and I will just repeat it until it is minced to oblivion. What I really do want to invest in is a garlic press, because I hate doing this. I know I'm not very good at it, and it comes out very uneven. But in a meal like this, it doesn't really matter. We're not looking for perfection. We're just looking for something tasty and nice. So yeah, I'm just going to keep doing that over and over until I get all of the pieces as small as I would like, and then I can show you the next steps in cooking the chicken, which I'm very Hey guys, so the garlic has been minced. I've got a pan with oil in that is currently heating up that we're going to put the chicken in. And then we're going to get this browned off. Once it's browned, I'm going to add all of my seasonings, the tomatoes, which, I mean, they've come out more mushier, but it really doesn't matter. It's all going to be in one pot. It's going to come out and it's going to be delicious. So let's get the chicken in there. I'm going to use this. So I did wash this again before I continued using it on the onions, but I don't have another silicone spatula, so we're just going to use this. Not like it matters too much because the onions are going to be going in here very soon as well. So yeah, now it's just a waiting game for the chicken. So we'll get that all browned off. I'll just show you what's going on now and what it looks like. So I'll get that all browned and then I'll show you once that's done and we'll add all of the seasonings together. Okay guys, so the chicken is now brown. It's not done cooking because it is going to continue cooking. But we now need to add everything else into the pot. It would be helpful if you could see what I'm doing. We're going to just get my onions from earlier, or my onion, should I say. Put that in. I don't like to waste anything if I can help it. So that's good. So the next thing is my garlic. What I'm going to do is go like that. Put that in there. Is that a good mix? Oh, that smells so good. Honestly, I love garlic so much. I mean, I don't know who doesn't, but it's so good. And I need to add a good amount of tomato puree. These squeezy tubs are so hard, I think. I'm going to add my chicken stock cube, if it'll let me. Anyway, there we go. Okay, that's fine. We're going to add water in a minute, but before that we've got to add all of our seasonings. So we've got to have a healthy amount of oregano, thyme, which, hang on, for some reason this is quite hard to get out, which is a bit annoying, but it's all good. And then we're going to go for some onion granules. Onion powder would work slightly better. I'm not going to use quite as much, but we work with what we've got. Again, garlic granules as well. Not too much. I want salt. And I've just got to grab the black pepper. Okay. And we can't forget the tomatoes from earlier. This will just mix that all together. I'll just show you in a sec with what that's looking like. So as we can see, that is what that's looking like. And we do need to add, went to pick up the hot water. We actually need to add our rice first. And I'm gonna get another sort of quarter cup, let's say. Might not add all of that. There we go. And if I just get my hot water, I'm gonna mix that all in. And now we need to let that, bring it to a boil and then let it simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes. So yeah. So this is what we're looking with after about 20 minutes. It still needs longer because we need all of this to reduce and go into the rice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting in my spinach, a handful at a time, a little bit more, and get that so it shrivels down. And then once that's added in, we'll wait, let it all finish off, and then we can add our cream and cheese. Okay guys, so the liquid has pretty much gone. So we now need to add some cream. And again, I'm eyeballing. I've used about half of that so far. Mix that in. I may have gone overboard with the rice on this dish, but this is what experimenting looks like. At least I know for next time. I can reduce the amount of rice and reduce the amount of liquid. So I think that's good enough. Just close that for now. And then I'm going to use this cheese. So let's just eyeball and see. I might end up using all of this due to the amount of rice that's in this dish. So let me get stirring because we want this to be nice and cheesy. This is a very creamy, cheesy rice, chicken and tomato dish with obviously our spinach as well. So we definitely want that cheese flavour to come through. Okay, that's mixed in. Let's just I am just going to use the full bag. I mean, it was a half a bag. We're just going to get that all in there and stir it in. I can't wait to show you what this looks like. It honestly looks amazing. So hopefully it's going to taste amazing. Right, so okay, this is what it's looking like. Nice and cheesy and creamy. So I'm going to get this plated up and we will do a taste test. Okay, so this is what we are working with. I am going to add a little bit of pepper just because that is my preference, but nothing too crazy. and we will try. There is something I'd like to add to it, but I want to see what it tastes like without first. So it is very, very hot. Okay, that is genuinely 10 out of 10. Really, really happy with that. But what I also want to do is just add a little bit of like, if I can, there we go. Just a smidge of lime juice on there as well to be fancy. I love it. Okay. Sorry guys, it is very hot, so I don't want to burn my mouth. Yeah. This creamy chicken and rice dish, 10 out of 10. Obviously it's a £1 dish, which makes it even easier. And I have a ridiculous amount of it left. Like, I will show you how much I actually have. Oh, sorry guys, because I'm doing my front camera. I'm not showing you very well, but yeah, I have loads left. So I'm going to get that all in containers, some to go in the freezer and some for my lunches and dinner this week. So yeah.